Hi everyone, this is Christy with the Element Bath and Body here in Dallas. Thank you and welcome to all the new subscribers, and thank you and welcome back to the returning subscribers and viewers. I appreciate each and every one of you. And I really mean that. I do. Today's video is going to be specifically about inexpensive ways that we can either make or use things that may be found around our homes to make soap as soap molds. So when I first started out, I went online to the reputable dealers like Brambleberry and Essential Depot and bought soap molds. And as anyone that gets into this industry learns, even if you're getting into it just for hobby and not not with the intentions of using this as a source of income, you learn really quickly that soap equipment alone can get really expensive and blow what budget you may have set aside for making soap. And if you're anything like me, when I first started making soap, that budget wasn't very big. And even now, the budget isn't very big for soap supplies. So you have to get creative and you have to find ways to use the things that are available to you. And then when you get to where you have more of a budget, if you want to splurge for those more expensive things, you can. And if you don't want to, you don't have to. So I'm going to show you a couple of different things, a couple of options that we have, and then we'll get started showing you how to make the one thing that you can make within less than about 30 minutes with about $10 or less, including the material and the tool that you'll need to make it, about 10 bucks. So let me get the one mold that I forgot to pick up and I'll be right back. This container is just a regular microwave safe, heat safe plastic container that I found at Dollar Tree. This container was one of the containers featured in the video that I made about how to make soap without a stick blender. I'll leave a link to that video up there in the corner and also in the description box. But I was doing a video trying to explain to someone how to make soap without a stick blender because they didn't have the budget for a stick blender at that time. And soap has been made way before electricity was invented, so I found a way to do it with things that you can find around your home, and this is one of the things that I used. So this is just a plastic, heat safe plastic container from Dollar Tree. I think it was 3 in a pack, and this holds roughly 1.5 pounds of soap. So, and if you want to make sure, you want to know that your plastic is heat safe, in the little recycle symbol there should be the number 5. If it does not have the number 5, then I really wouldn't recommend it for dealing with lye and soap batter because they can get pretty hot, and you don't want to have raw soap batter melting through your container, wasting everywhere. The next container was a container that I actually bought with the intention of making soap. I did not have a container like this around my home, although you may already have something really similar to this that can be used for soap making. So this container is just a regular straight-sided wooden box that I got at, I still call it Garden Ridge. I know they changed the name to At Home, but it just doesn't sit right with me, so I still say Garden Ridge. So I got it at Garden Ridge, and I paid a whole $5.99 plus tax for this box. And these numbers on here are just my measurements so that I could calculate how much soap would fit in this box. So for this $6 box, I can fit about $7 worth of so in this $6 box, or $6.48 box, I can fit about 7 pounds of soap. That's roughly 33 3.5 ounce bars of soap that can come out of this one $6.48 box. Less than $10. You can make enough soap for you and your family for a little bit. So that's another option. This has to be lined with freezer paper or if you can get a custom silicone liner to fit the dimensions of your box, that's fine. Silicone releases really easily without lots of fuss. But if not, you can use regular freezer paper from the grocery store. And I will probably make a video showing the way that I found was the easiest to make my freezer paper liners for my wooden boxes. So less than 10 bucks, 7 pounds of soap. This is a Coroplast mold. Coroplast is a name brand, but if you're doing a search on Amazon or some other shopping site, you want to look for corrugated plastic. It's the same sign that the same material that they use for like those voting signs when it's election time. So look for corrugated plastic. This is an 18 by 24 sheet, 18 by 24 inches. And I found it at my local Home Depot for less than $10. It was about $7 for a 24 by 18 inch sheet of corrugated plastic. And depending on the size of your mold, you may be able to get 2 smaller molds, or like I have here, 1 slab mold. And so this is what we'll be making in the video today. And once you get your measurements down, and I will show you how I calculated my measurements, once you get that down and you're ready to start cutting, it literally comes together in less than 30 minutes. And so you spent less than $10, and with calculation and cutting, less than an hour between you and your ability to make soap without spending a bucket of money on just soap supplies and soap molds. So when I bring you back, I'm going to show you the process by which I figured out the dimensions for my soap bars. All right. See you in a little bit. Peace. So to figure out the dimensions for your slab mold, you just figure out the size of your bar. And again, most of my methods work if your bars are roughly the same size. I do still hand cut my bars. The length of my bars are 3.5 by 2.25 to 2.5 inches wide. And then usually between 1 and 1.1 inch thick. I decided to do a 10 by 10 by 4 because I want to have, again, 4 lobes, 3, 4. I want to be able to get 4 lobes across, and then because it's 1 inch thick, because it's 10 inches across this way, I can get 10 out of each loaf. So again, 10 times 4, you get 40 bars. But the easiest way to figure that out is you have your 10-inch square for your base of your mold, and then you need enough clearance on each side to be able to contain your soap. no matter which way you pour it. So it has to be able to clear. So I did 4 inches on each side. So 10 inches right here, 4 inches on each side. And so that makes this an 18 by 18 square. 4 plus 10 plus 4. 4 plus 10 plus 4. So that's an 18 by 18 square. And that's why I buy the 18 by 24 inch Coroplast, because that means that I only have to make one cut. So when I flatten this out, that lines up with this Coroplast sheet. And the only cut that I have to make is right here, which means that's a lot less measuring. Even though I love math, I don't like doing lots of extra work if I don't have to. So that means I know I need an 18-inch square. Well, I just cut 6 inches off the length. I'm going to insert a picture showing you the channels because I don't have an autofocus camera. I do have a DSLR, but it is an older model, so it doesn't autofocus. Eventually, one day, maybe I'll get an autofocus, but for now, we're going to show you a picture of what the inside channels look like. A close-up, rather, of what the inside channels look like. That's very important to understand that this is 2 levels, 2 layers, rather. And you're going to cut through only one layer when you make your cuts, because if you cut through both layers, then you're just going to have lots of little pieces, and so you won't be able to fold and bend and do all that stuff.